Hey guys, yeah, I'm on my lunch. I've got I got about 34, 33 minutes to go. Add a 15 minute or so to that, but anyway, I wanted to come on here live, and I do apologize for any abrupt interruptions or stream, skips and all that because I'm using the 4T for the LTE 4G on my Straight Talk wireless um, service. But I wanted to come on here, and I guess by doing this, I may or may not keep the initial video I did with my thoughts on Pony Life that I filmed with my GoPro last night. I may or may not keep that file. I might keep that file depending on how this turns out. But because I think it's going to be a little bit shorter than this, maybe longer, who knows. But yeah, let's get straight to it, shall we? Let's get straight to Pony Life here for a moment. Now, it has not yet initially debuted here in the U.S. Episodically. Um, it's not yet debuted here in the, like I say, here in the U.S. episodically, as it has yesterday in Canada. However, thanks to many fans that live in Canada and have access to things like Facebook and Twitter and Yard Disc and Daily Motion and all that, we're able to, all of us, I should say, are able to watch the initial first two episodes of Pony Life. Well, at least in my case, as I say in the description, skim through it. Because I do have the first two episodes, saved on my Facebook page. But uh, but but basically, I have yet to. What I'm trying to say is, because of course I'm doing this outside, so I gotta keep an eye out for things. But like I said, I have the first two episodes via links saved onto my Facebook page. So basically, I can watch them in full later, and then probably give my initial thoughts, my initial review on them, not just my initial thoughts. But anyway, looking at Pony Life just by skimming through it, it is exactly what Hasbro advertised it to be. It is basically looking at the more comedic, funnier side of Friendship is Magic. It's looking at this more humorous, Looney Tune like side of the characters. You know it's definitely, what's the word I'm looking for? It's definitely different than anything else you may have imagined coming out of My Little Pony. But basically what I see, and my wording may be different from this live stream to what I recorded last night if I use that file, and I may, just in case. But anyway, what you get here with Pony Life is you can definitely tell that they kept the essence of Friendship is Magic in the series. You could tell that they did that, but it's basically turned up a notch by 100. I mean, if you want any example of what I'm talking about, Dr. Wolf did a review this morning, or posted a review this morning of his thoughts, his initial thoughts, and his first reviews, if you will, on Pony Life. And basically, the doctor was basically like, breathe in, breathe out, kind of catch a breath here, kind of deal, because what he experienced, because his experience, as he put it, was basically overload. It was like hyperactive. It was just like so energetic, unlike Friendship is Magic, that it's like you couldn't miss a beat. It's like you couldn't look away 1 second, if you will, or you would miss something. That's how it was looked at. And I can't blame Dr. Wolf for that, because you kind of feel that. I mean, like I said, you basically get Friendship is Magic, but it's turned up by 100. You get the personalities of the characters because they're voiced by the same ladies, the same actresses from Friendship is Magic. You get them, kind of keeping the personalities true to the characters as we know them from Friendship is Magic, but turning them up a notch and also adding in a little nuances here and there. Um, I mean, and here's the thing: there are a few things in Pony Life that were kind of teased a little bit um, in Friendship is Magic, like fourth wall breaking. I mean, we know Pinky and even Twilight would kind of do that. I mean, what was the second episode with Trixie, the Magic Duel episode, if you will? It was the Magic Duel episode. Basically, Twilight caused Pinky's mouth to vanish, so Pinky couldn't really talk, and it was kept that way till the end, to the end of the episode, to where Pinky had to open up the iris after the episode fades to black, and go like, "Hey, what about this?" And then you see another iris open up in the background of after the fade to black, and here comes Twilight, and she has to, restore Pinky's mouth and all that. The point is, but the point, and then of course you have Pinky not kind of like doing the nod like this towards the audience at the end of the called the one where Pinkie Pie knows, where we get pretty much the first indication, or we get the first initial thoughts of, we get the first initial thought. Hold on for a sec. A lot of cars are going by. Well, not a lot, but just a few to make noise. But anyway, we also see a fourth wall Pinky, like I said, waving like a no nod at the audience when, at the end of the episode where the one Pinky called the one where Pinkie Pie knows. So sorry about that, but anyway, we see her kind of like do that nod, and that, along with, like I said, what I mentioned as well with at the ending of the Magic Duel episode, basically were the only times, and maybe there were a few other times, I think even courtesy of Discord, but there weren't many moments, like I said, with the exception of Pinky and maybe Discord and even Twilight, where we had fourth wall breaking in Friendship is Magic. But here, you get that. You're getting that because out of all the characters that breaks the fourth wall, it's Applejack. Because there's a moment where I guess Rarity's ice cream gets spilled onto her head and she's crying about it dramatically, and then Applejack says something, and then she looks towards like the audience or towards the viewers and says, "Did you miss this? Because I missed this." And it's like, okay, that's something that Applejack never did in Friendship is Magic. So you can kind of tell that they're going to be going maybe that route a little bit with more fourth wall breaking, as well as a lot more zaniness when it comes to the characters. So that's what I kind of felt here. Just skimming through it, and the fact that and the way the characters react, to me is great, because their reactions and their expressions are not just verbal anymore, but you get more visual gags on it, if you will. Like, of course, with Twilight, one of the things that Twilight is, like I said, one of the things Twilight has been known for in Friendship is Magic is freaking out. Kind of falling apart at the seams, if you will. Well, here in Pony Life, I don't know. Again, I just skimmed through the episode, so I don't know if she did it yet in the first two. But basically, here in Pony Life, she actually falls apart. Heck, she even has to tell herself, after she does it one time and pulls herself back together, come on, Twilight, no time to fall apart, no time to go to pieces, kind of deal. So you get the visual gagness, you get the visual gags of the of how the characters feel. I mean, even Rarity, who's one of my favorites, and she's the favorite of a lot of people. Even Rarity has a visual gag to where when she goes into a fainting mood, instead of like pulling her couch or fainting couch out, you know, from the boutique or from who knows where, or running to go get it and then plopping down on it. Instead, the fainting couch just appears out of nowhere. Just go. It's just like, because there's a moment in the first episode where she does her fainting, and she literally just falls back, and then poof, out of nowhere, in comes the fainting couch. So that's kind of cool. And then you of course get a moment. I think it's in the first episode, the second episode, where she's talking with Pinky at a counter, and all of a sudden it just goes to black and white. It goes into a noir-like setting with Rarity right there. So that's another thing um, that's kind of amped up a little bit is even the fantasy moments of the characters, because we know that from the later seasons. We know from the later seasons that Rarity is into suspense and drama. Well, we know she's into drama and romance and all that, but she's into mystery and suspense and solving cases. So she's into that. She's into that kind of thing because of her favorite character, a favorite character in a book series, Shadow Spade. Yeah, that's the name, Shadow Spade. So we kind of get that here, but you can tell if they're going to go towards that or go, up that. They're going to utilize that not just with her but with the other characters. They're gonna ramp it up a little bit, and you kind of also see like the visualness of like when Rainbow Dash gets challenged to be the best of the worst, this kind of deal. You kind of visually see in her mind all of a sudden it's like boom, all of a sudden like there's like a drip in a pond. It's like you see this like Raverly like psychedelic, almost not, well, I wouldn't say psychedelic, but almost close to it, psychedelic like moo, rainbows just swirling around, dripping into what looks like a pond, and then out comes Rainbow Dash. It's like Rainbow turned herself mentally into this drop of water, into all these rainbows that became this drop of water, and then all of a sudden bust out with "I accept the challenge" kind of deal. Or something like that. Again, I just skimmed through the episodes, but you kind of get the idea of what I'm saying. Heck, even when Pinky gets happy and celebrates, she literally bursts with excitement, and she bursts like a freaking balloon, and then she just pops back to normal. It's like when she bursts like a balloon, you see all this confetti and stuff come down that represents her, and then all of a sudden, the camera pans back up, and she just pops out back to normal kind of deal. So, it, so overall, what I'm getting here is I'm getting definite, more. How do I put this? I'm getting more definite Looney Tune like vibes. I'm definitely getting that. But from what I've seen from the another series that people said it's very similar to, but in a positive way, that being Unikitty, because I've seen some clips on YouTube and other places. Um, you kind of get that vibe too, because Unikitty is kind of the same way. It's very comedic. The stories are very short and everything. Sometimes they're a half hour, but mostly they're short. And it works. It works because you get to see the characters react in ways that, had Unikitty been done in the style of Friendship is Magic, you would kind of see that a little bit, but not much. So you kind of, but with the style it's in, you kind of get that overreactionness. Like when Unikitty was in the Lego movie, you didn't really get much of that visual, like, transformations or poppings and all that. You didn't get all these visual eggs in the movie, but in the Unikitty series, you do. And that's kind of why people compare it in a positive way to Pony Life, because you're getting a lot of the visual gags that you wouldn't get as much as you would in Friendship is Magic, you're getting them here, and you're getting them upped by 10 or 11. Now, what's and again, one thing I do agree with Dr. Wolf on is you got to give credit to the women behind the characters, the voice actresses, the original voice actresses from Friendship is Magic, coming back to do this. You got to give it to them for upping their A game and really just going to town with being able to express themselves or have the well. Basically, what I'm saying is you got to give them credit for being able to up their A game and really just go all out. Just go. Um, as crazy as this sounds to say, balls to the wall uh, with their acting, with the voice acting for the characters, because they're bringing out sides of the characters they're bringing out expressions and comedicness out of the characters that we didn't normally see as much in Friendship is Magic. They're bringing it out here. So I kind of like that. I really do like that. Now, we do get an idea of what the potions are capable of, because obviously the potions have magic powers and all that helps them do, helps them to be able to do things and that they wouldn't normally be able to do or whatever. And you kind of get an example of that. Like one of the potions I think Rainbow takes allows her to just get real fast, just like zoom all over the place kind of deal, at lightning speed, faster than she normally would. There's a potion that obviously when you take it, allows you to, allows the characters to see what sorry about sorry about that. But like I said, there's even a potion that allows the characters to visually show another character what they're thinking. So, and we see that twice with, Pinky on Rainbow, and Pinky bumping her head next to Rainbow and showing her, and then Twilight doing the Rainbow. So I think, so obviously there's a potion for that. And then you have a potion that allows the character that drinks it to shapeshift. But, not just shapeshift into, let's say, an inanimate object or a plant or, a vehicle or whatever. But it allows them to shapeshift, if not disguise themselves as another character. And Pinky demonstrates this at the end of the first episode when she drinks a potion, and when she drinks a potion and she visually thinks about thinks about her friends or looks at them or whatever, and she becomes them. Like when she drinks it, she thinks of Applejack. Boom, she becomes Applejack. Then she thinks of Twilight. She becomes Twilight. Then she goes back to being herself. So there's potions for that, obviously, and maybe that's going to be coming into play later on. We get a potion. Obviously, we're going to get a potion that deals with invisibility. Who gets that? I don't know. That's going to be interesting. Obviously we're going to get a potion that helps, Applejack try to find her true identity after she loses her hat, according to one synopsis. So there's going to be a variety of potions utilized. What they are, who takes them and all that's totally going to be up in the air. But it's going to be interesting to see exactly what they do with the character, with this concept in future episodes. Now, one thing I did kind of come to a conclusion of, in my opinion, is why we haven't seen Pony Life on Discovery Family. Now, there's no doubt Discovery Family is going to air Pony Life. I mean, there's a lot of stuff from Netflix that Discovery Family has brought on board and aired as part of their own lineups. We have seen that. We have seen that, if you will. So I'm not going to put it past them to do the same here. with Pony Life. But the question is, how do they do it? My initial thoughts is this: they're going to do it one of two ways. One way is when they have some time to kill, especially let's say during a marathon of ponies or whatever, or they just have time to kill between, one show and another. They're going to end up showcasing these episodes, either in the full 11-minute status, even in the full 11-minute, status, if you will. They're going to showcase these episodes in a full 11-minute status, or what they're going to do, because they might have only like a 5-minute window, they might show one part of an episode, and then after one cartoon is over, they'll show the next part. So let's say, for example, they show Littlest Pet Shop, and after that we get like the first part of let's say the best of the worst, and then after that first part's over, we go into an episode of Friendship is Magic, and then after that's over, we get the second part of the best of the worst. Um, I could see them doing that. I can see them doing something like that, which would work, honestly, because it gets it out there, but it gets it out there in a way that it makes the viewer not want to miss what's next, or what happens in the next part. So I can see them doing it that way. But one way I definitely see them doing it, as I check my time here, but one way I definitely see them doing it is I could see them taking the first two episodes, that being Probes, I think, Princess Probes, and the best of the worst, and combining them into one 22-minute episode. I can see them doing that. And by doing so, they would take the 18 episode season or series and basically reduce it. Easy. Almost tripped there. But like I said, I could see, and this is what happens when you do these kind of videos live, because you got to make sure nobody ends up being a troll or a jerk and honks or yells out the car window or something. But anyway, what I was saying, oh yeah, I could see Discovery Family doing what I said. I could see them doing like one part after one show, and then doing the next part after the other show. Like I said, I could see them doing the first part after an episode of Littlest Pet Shop, then you get an episode of Friendship is Magic, and then at the end of Friendship is Magic, I could see them doing the second part of one of these episodes, and there you go. It would work. Again, it would make the viewer, want to tune in and see what's going to happen next. That's what it would do. Now, I could also, as I was trying to say before I almost tripped myself there. But like I said, what I also see Discovery Family doing is taking the first two episodes of, just checking something there, but I could see them taking the first two episodes of Pony Life, that being Princess Probes and Best of the Worst, and combining them into one. And as I was trying to say, initially take the 18 episode format and reduce it to 9. And when you think about it, folks, that would actually work, because the summer season is initially what, like 9 weeks or something. It's 9 weeks at least. You got basically the final week in June when it starts, or the final weekend in June when it starts, till you got all of August, and then all of July, you got all of August, and then you're entering into September. I could see them doing that, because that way not only do they get the series out there, but for anybody that's looking forward to it and may even consider it as an actual good successor, or kind of filler, if you will, till we get to the next generation. You know, for those people, they would be able to watch not one but two episodes all within the span of 22 minutes. So I could see Discovery Family doing something like that as well. I'm not saying they will, and I'm not saying they won't, but it's a thought. It's a thought process. Now, could I see the show ending up on YouTube? Yeah, but I could also see it being on Discovery Family, and I think that's what Hasbro wants to do. Hasbro wants to go the Discovery Family route and the YouTube route, but do it in a way that works out for both. Like I said, with Discovery Family, I could see them probably separating the episodes, you know, in between different shows. Like I said, at the end of one show, you get one part, and then at the end of another, you get the other half of that part, or you get the second part. I could see them doing that, um, as well as I could see them basically taking uh, the episodes and going from 18 to 9 by combining these 11-minute shorts into one 22-minute episode each. So I can see them doing that. And I know some people watching would think, well, that wouldn't make sense, would it? In a way, it does. In a way, it does make sense because basically, like I said, in a way, it does make sense because basically what you're doing is you're filling the week. This basically you're filling out a time slot, or you're giving a time slot or so to this show for the next several weeks in the summer, and you're basically initially making it what it's predicted to be or being promoted to be, a summer series. I mean, why do you think, the Treehouse TV, which is probably doing it the way I'm thinking Discovery Family will do it, why do you think they're doing it the same way? They're doing it because basically it allows for the kids over the next 9 weeks to have something to entertain them. That's why they're doing it. Now, now, is that going to be the direction they go? I can't really say. But I know it's going to be intriguing. It's going to be interesting to see, what direction, they go in with this series, you know, throughout the summer. But the way I look at it as probably both Treehouse and Discovery going the route, probably more than likely, of taking the two episodes, combining them into one episode, which reduces the 18 to 9, if you will, and going from there and utilizing that kind of strategy to fill out the obligated 9 weeks of programming for the series or airing for the series throughout the summer. It makes sense. And, in the long run, I could see, YouTube and then maybe later on Netflix or Hulu, taking the episodes and airing them, individually as 11-minute shorts or maybe even together. Mostly YouTube would probably go the 11-minute short. But anyway, though, all in all, guys, Pony Life to me, I Pony Life to me, I'm gonna give it a chance because it definitely feels like, they're gonna it definitely feels like they're gonna take this concept of, okay, this is a more funnier comedic side of the characters, and they're gonna run with it. They're gonna run with it, and they're gonna go as crazy, and they're gonna get as crazy and as wacky as they want to be. I've got a feeling that's what they plan to do, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. Again, we don't know who probably get the invisibility formula potion. I don't know what Bad Things Number 3 is going to be like. To me, it feels like it's going to be like a parody of a Love Potion number 9 like scenario, but it's going to be something that's going to blow up in Rarity's face or something, and that might lead to a Spike Rarity deal. Who knows? But the point is, right now, we just have to, as I always say in my videos, wait and see what they have in store when it comes to Pony Life. But I'm gonna give it a chance. It looks good. I mean, again, like I said at the beginning, it definitely feels like you can definitely feel the presence or the spiritual presence or the essence of Friendship is Magic in there. you definitely feel the familiarity. But I think because the odd styles are a little bit more different, and the fact that even Dr. Wolf acknowledged that they're trying to hybrid the worlds, make it more modern, kind of like hybrid Friendship is Magic into a world like Equestria Girls. I think that's what's kind of throwing people off a little bit. But overall, I think it's pretty good. I think overall, though, I think the first two episodes, even though I skimmed through them, I gotta watch them fully later on. I think they look pretty good. They look funny, and it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be really unique. I mean, you want some funny moments. There is a moment towards the end of the first episode where you have five of the main six stuck in this big giant dessert, and they literally have to eat their way out to go try to help Pinky. So, or at least as they think, they try to need to help Pinky. But yeah, you get scenarios like that. But overall, it looks okay to me. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's definitely, I can say this, it's definitely not going the Teen Titans route. If that the Teen Titans Go route, if that's what people were afraid of. So, like I said, like I always say, we got to wait and see. But I'm willing to give it a chance. I'm willing to give it a chance. So, let me know what you guys' thoughts are down below. Comment if you like. Thank you all for watching live. Even though you may have not commented in the live stream, that's okay. But let me know what you all think down below. Comment if you like. And I am out. You do. Yeah, I did.